Hey guys, so we're going to do a DJI Mavic Mini drone review today. I'm not really going to cut into the box or anything and go crazy yet, but I just wanted to kind of put it in your head organically, kind of the way that it was in mine. Didn't really have much bias as this was my first drone purchase on the Mavic Mini. So I feel like in a lot of the videos and reviews I was reading at first before I made my purchase, there was a lot of criticism, and I definitely know why now, but I definitely can say that this is packed with power and this drone is amazing. So I think the most important thing to compare when you're looking at it is either if you're just going to buy the standalone Mavic Mini, or if you're going to go with the Fly More combo. But at the end of the day, I think that you're going to end up needing another battery. And if you do need another battery, why not get three? Why not have the charger? If you're out with somebody and you're trying to wrap up a shoot and they want to charge their phone or something, you can throw that in. You can say, here you go. Oh, really? You have that? Amazing. And it actually charges smartphone or smart device pretty quick, considering. So there you go. So there's one plus or two pluses, having the Fly More combo. And then you get this case. This case is pretty cool. You know, if you're spending a lot of time outdoors, if you're hiking, traveling, you want a little bit more security, you're going to get that with the Fly More combo. You're not going to get that with this. You're going to kind of have to come up with your own bag, maybe make a side purchase. Again, it's not going to be waterproof, but pretty water resistant with a zipper. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's pretty cool. Also, tip, you can land on that if you're in a weird terrain. That's always a good thing to kind of fall back on. If you know, things change or your position changes, grab that and you can land wherever. Moving on, I think that's kind of the most important thing to think of in terms of boxing. I don't think that dumping it out on over the table is necessarily wicked important, but I think it's important to make the right purchase ahead of time before you have to go back and say, wait, or maybe you're just going to say, you know, maybe I'll just buy a new drone. But every situation's different. So I hope that this is informative. I hope that as we kind of roll along here, we're going to put it into play. You're going to see it kind of, you know, live right after this as we move into that. So like and subscribe, and we are going to get this thing rolling. Here we go. All right, so the first drone flight, or any drone flight, depending on what's going on, could get a little weird. And you always want to kind of go out there with some sort of plan, first plan, initial plan, kind of like intro, outro, and what's going to go on in between. Then that way, kind of going through, you always have pretty much a plan B. And then you'll kind of be able to get a little bit of a head start to kind of get out of issues before they kind of arise, right? So just to kind of go through a quick thing before we fly, don't get overwhelmed. They give you a couple different connectors depending on what kind of phone you have. This is the charging cable. You're going to get extra wings and propellers, and you're going to get the gimbal cover that's off right now. You will get these propeller guards for the Fly More combo, but I don't really recommend using them unless you are going to be shooting some sort of sport, kind of a lot of motion in a restricted area, lots of hard, dense things around you, you might want to use that. But these days you're not really seeing a lot of those on or mounted too much. So you got extra connectors, you got your battery. The Fly More combo definitely comes with more instructions. This just comes with a simple little instruction manual. It isn't really anything. It's kind of hard to make out. So you're going to kind of have to go off of YouTube or what's available online if you don't make the Fly More combo purchase. So, all right, let's get out there. Let's get going. Let's put this thing in the air, and we'll do it quick. We'll do it live. All right, so nothing's easy, right? Only thing you got to do is install DJI Fly app on your phone and do the update as soon as you can. As soon as you do the update on your drone, you are good to go. Here we go. All right, just want to show this to you. Kind of a really important thing that might happen to you if you're flying in a hot, really hot area, if there's humidity involved, if there's reflection from the water. Maybe you're just flying too long, always try to come back before you hit 30% battery. That way if something goes wrong, you can kind of, you have time to kind of go back for another pass, get another shot, you reevaluate, you know what I'm saying? So this is something that kind of happens where it can happen right in the middle of flight where you're overheating. You might notice your video quality starts to get a little grainy. It might get pixelated. If that happens, again, start hitting back on your controller, back the way you came, kind of out of memory, and work your way back. As long as that distance starts climbing down, you still have connection, your drone's not gone. Don't panic, always stay calm. But be aware of those changing conditions and limiting factors when you are flying over water. If you're in a hot climate, especially over water and over 90 degrees. If you're doing that, you got the reflection over the water, plus the heat of the drone, plus the sun reflecting back underneath and over the top. So just keep it in mind. You always want to be kind of, a good 30 to 180 degrees away from the safe zone. All right, here we go. All right. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you about this drone, like I told you in the beginning, I want to let it just be organic. This drone cannot really track outside of its circle shot. So it's okay if you kind of get good at it. You might be able to track your buddy on anything kind of moving. As long as you're not moving and you're kind of able to sit down, it's easy to do. But this is one thing that's very important for me in my purchase, is that this drone really didn't track as much as I thought it would. So I kind of had to make up for it and do the rest of the tracking myself. That's okay, but with later models like the Air or Mavic Air 2, you'll definitely see the tracking is built in, and there's just a lot more going on. So here we go. All right, you see there, she's responding pretty well. Um, if you're good at a video game, you're gonna be awesome at a drone. The fact that the Mavic Mini hovers is really a fail-safe. Put that together with a DJI Care package. That's the insurance. You get 2 replacements per year, I swear. You'll never go wrong. It'll make you safer, and it'll make you fly a little smarter. So for landing, you just want to get back to a safe spot, out of close quarters, preferably where you took off from, or an even better spot. So like I said earlier, if you want, you can always carry that case from the Fly More combo and use that as a lander. If you're in rocky terrain, you can always do a hand grab. If you rotate the aircraft 180 degrees, it will shut off. So if you ever get in that situation, like if you're in water, over water, near water, on the rocks, you can't just get a nice steady landing. Don't take a chance. Go for the air grab. It's gonna bump a little bit as you come up with the sensors, but don't worry about that. You just gotta grab it quick and make sure your hands are not near anywhere the propeller. All right, so again, hovering comes up, but when you're landing, you're just coming out of hover, which is happening when you're not touching anything, and you just want to double click on the down joystick, depending how you have it set up. I have a mode 3 right now. It's a little slightly advanced. It's not what it's set to originally, but I think it's a little bit more interactive. It's a little bit more first person for me. So it's way more easy to get the cinematic shot, I believe, to just move through anything like a video game, you know? All right, so let's take it up out of the yard here. Um, and like I said before, couple quick things. We covered the physical, we covered the software, we covered pre-flight, we covered kind of box, what was in the box, difference between boxes, fly combo, and the reggae style. So um, now when you're going to make your move, 2 seconds before you put this thing into the air, you've got a chance to kind of set your return to home elevation, okay? So you kind of want to like nail that in, get that out of the way. Um, if you're coming in over trees, you're taking off from below trees or below an area, you want to set your return to home height or elevation to the highest point or over that obstruction. So when it does come back on its own, you don't have to worry about it swaying into anything. Because remember, you've only got obstacle avoidance from the bottom. Um, like I said, it's really only going to make a play if you land on something metal or you try to do a hand grab and it's not, kind of expecting it. Your hand is electronic, you're electronic. So it sees you come under. So just grab it quick, like I said before. So we'll just bring it back down and make this a nice safe landing.